Welcome back to LabVIEW Basics. I'm Sam Kristoff from LabVIEW MakerHub, and in this section we're going to learn about controls and indicators. Now, controls and indicators are the elements we'll use to build up the user interface of our application. So from the LabVIEW Getting Started window, I'll press Ctrl-N to create a new VI, and then I'm going to maximize the front panel. If I right-click, I can bring up the controls palette, and I'll click the little tack to pin it in place. I'm going to collapse the modern section by left-clicking it, and expand the silver section by clicking that. These have similar controls, but just a different look and feel. So now we can see our controls and indicators. Let's look at the numeric ones first. There are a bunch of different options for numeric controls and indicators, and we'll start with the simplest one. If I left-click on a numeric control, you can see my cursor changes to a little hand, and as I hover over the front panel, you can see the outline of that control. I'll left-click to place it, and you can see now I've placed a numeric control. So controls you can think of as user inputs. So when my program runs, the user can input a number either before it runs or during the program execution. Indicators, on the other hand, you can think of as outputs. So rather than interacting directly with them, we'll use indicators to indicate something to the user. I can place an indicator by choosing the numeric indicator from the controls palette. Again, I'll left-click to select it and left-click to place it on the front panel. When I create controls and indicators on my front panel, the block diagram elements are created for me. So if I choose Window and Tile Up and Down, you can see that the numeric control and numeric indicator have been created on the block diagram for me. When you're looking at a block diagram element, controls have terminals on the right side. Data flows out of them, left to right. Indicators, on the other hand, have terminals on the left side because we're going to pass data into them. Now, from the front panel, if I want to find the block diagram representation of a control, I can double-click on the edge of the control, and the block diagram element will be highlighted. Similarly, I can click on the block diagram representation, and it will highlight the front panel version of that. And this works with indicators as well. So if we've placed a control and what we really wanted was an indicator, we can change the control to an indicator by right-clicking on it and choosing Change to Indicator. And you'll see that the background color changed to indicate that this is now an indicator, not a control, and the terminal on the block diagram representation switched sides. So now we have two numeric indicators. You can use the same method to change indicators to controls as well. So in the next section, we'll talk about the different data types in LabVIEW and how these different controls and indicators can represent different data types. Make sure to check out LabViewMakerHub.com for more tutorials and projects, and ask any questions you have on the MakerHub forums at LabViewMakerHub.com/forums.